So I'm not sure if this had something to do with the fact that Sarah Gamble was not involved in season 5, and I think that they got new people to help in writing season 5. I don't, it's funny because I don't see anybody mentioning that part, but season 5 of You just felt like really different than the other seasons. And what I mean by different is the pacing is very fast and it's very odd. Okay, so just feel like watching this show, there was a whole lot of nothing going on, but at the same time, it went by so fast. Like the events were happening so fast. That's one. But mainly, I just want to talk about the ending sequence to the show. Overall, I feel like season 5 was decent. There were times where Joe was slipping up where he normally wouldn't, and I guess they tried to convince you as to why. Didn't work for me, but it just overall felt like season 5 had a sense of like bitterness, as if they were told that, you know, they were disgusted at the fact that the audience liked Joe Goldberg as a character. But what's wrong with liking Joe Goldberg as a character when you have shows like Dexter and you have shows like Breaking Bad and hundreds of other shows where the bad guy is basically the main character, and that's who we're rooting for. So I don't know if that's the reason why, but I have a good feeling that that's the reason why this season played out the way it did, is because I feel like people were enjoying and liking the character of Joe Goldberg too much, and somebody over in the higher ups felt some sort of way because of this, and they conspired to write this season in order to kind of shame us for liking Joe Goldberg as a character. That's exactly what I think happened, because the show goes from the previous seasons build you up to kind of get behind Joe a little bit. I mean, he's the main character, right? Even though he does fucked up shit, it's like you almost want him to get caught, but then when that time comes, you're like, no, like you kind of want him to get away with it and just see how much can he actually get away with. That's the reason why people enjoyed him as a character, is because we're not really thinking that deep into it. It's a fucking TV show. But these higher ups have a problem. We're not supposed to enjoy Joel Goldberg because he's a man. And I guess for some odd reason, this whole tone shifted over to kind of like this feminist type of background on the low feminist message. I think that they were trying to like sprinkle all throughout season 5. And it's really weird, okay? First of all, I'm not even going to get into the Bronte character. I feel like as a final love interest, this is not how you introduce a final love interest. You don't just introduce someone that quickly and have Joe fall in love with her that quickly. Especially with all the experience that he's had, and with even having his wife Kate turn against him, you would think he would be a lot more cautious. But some people try to say, oh, you know, when he's infatuated, he's never cautious in the beginning. I don't know about that. I feel like Joe's too smart to just fall for her that easily. And also, too, to forgive her after finding out what she did so quick. But yeah, she was not a good final love interest at all. You know, that felt like they rushed her into the season. She should have, if they wanted to make her the love interest, they should have put her in another season and had her through the entire season as the main focus. She was rushed. And she's an annoying character on top of that. I would have rather see Delilah be Joe's final love interest. Someone who's more attractive and who looks the part, maybe, or someone who actually looks like they could carry the weight of that. I would have enjoyed them to try to top Love Quinn for the last season, but no. Of course, they're not going to try and do that. It just felt like they wanted to rush everything in this season. Now let's get to the ending, which is the main reason why I'm making this video, okay? I know I've talked for a little bit, but the ending, okay? This ending should have been 4 to 5 episodes long, or this ending should have been postponed to a season 6. The amount of events that happened in the last 2 episodes, there's just so much to wrap your head around that you don't even enjoy what you're seeing. It's like Joe goes from getting away and getting out the country with Louise to, in the next 30 minutes later, getting shot in the dick and arrested and straight in jail. It's like there was almost no middle ground. There was no trial. There was no cathartic ending. It seems as though, whoever was writing this season just wanted to shit on the character of Joe Goldberg and the fans to kind of keep us in check and to spite us for enjoying Joe Goldberg as a character. That's what it genuinely felt like. It should not have ended the way it did. Louise should not have been the one to bring justice to all those women at all, for one. Joe shouldn't have got shot in his dick. That was just kind of stupid, and I feel like that was just sending a message, trying to troll the fans a bit with that. It was just weird. It was unnecessary. And 3, Joe Goldberg shouldn't have been in jail. Plain and simple. At least give us a trial before you put him in jail. But no trial. He just ends up in jail with a shaved head, and then they just give us this quick piece of shit ending that felt rushed. Everything felt rushed, okay? And also, I didn't like the fact that Joe betrayed Maddie, too. I don't think he would have done that. I think that was just done to make us not like Joe Goldberg. So, basically, to sum it all up, I just feel like there was some conversations going on in the office, some conversations going on somewhere in the higher-ups when they were talking in the writer's office about this. And they decided that they wanted to change everything that they have built up to everything that we've known about Joe, and they just wanted to throw it out the window and get back to the central message. But the way that they did it was they did it in a spiteful way, and they didn't write it properly, and they rushed it. I don't know what was the reason for it. I don't know why they decided to rush it so much, as if they couldn't wait and they really wanted to hammer this home so hard. But they fucked up the show in general. If they would have established this type of whole angle that they're coming out with season 5 way earlier on, people wouldn't feel backstabbed. And basically, as viewers, we feel like we've been stabbed in the back because the show had a lot of potential and it felt absolutely rushed. And there's definitely something that happened somewhere between the creator and the writers, because this season was not supposed to end at season 5. Well, this show, forgive me. This show was not supposed to end at season 5, but there were conversations. It could have been Penn Badgley. It could have been Sarah. It could have been the new writers that worked on season 5. There was a conversation somewhere in there that led to the potential of this show going down the fucking drain. And also, I do want to add that, some things that I did like about season 5 were, I liked the acting. I liked the acting. I liked, the suspense, obviously. I think there's a lot of things to like. I like the intense moments. I feel like there's a lot of good moments in the show. But overall, it just kind of takes you out of the experience when you can, intuitively sense that there's something going on where they're trying to spite the viewer. And I think a lot of these new movies nowadays, they have done shit like this where they want to spite you for having your own enjoyment of something, as if you should feel bad for enjoying something. Like, we go to watch a movie or watch a series to pull ourselves out of reality, to escape reality and have fun. That's why people watch TV shows and movies. We don't go to be reminded of our problems and to be reminded of the world's problems. Okay? And that's all I have to say about it. Let me know what you guys would have rather done for season 5. Honestly, how I would have ended season 5 is I would have had Joe Goldberg and Kate work things out and go on for another season, making her the first female to make it into 3 seasons with Joe. And then from there, I would have built onto the story and eventually given Joe his trial later on. That's personally what I would have done. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'm out.